into Ukraine, and of course the deal was signed on minerals at last. What do we need to know about it?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot in there. A lot of specifics, a lot of vague things as well. We did put a sort of breakdown of this up at 21stcenturywire.com. Ukraine signs mineral deal with the U.S. What you need to know. The things that jumped out at me on this, are, the fact that the United States has basically changed their arrangement now to an official pay to protect sort of arrangement with Ukraine. So I mean, this is not a good deal for Ukraine. When they accepted all this aid 3 years ago from the U.S. and all these countries, they weren't expecting they would have to basically mortgage their whole future and all of their natural resources to pay for it when a new president came in. And this is exactly what's happened. So this can go two ways. But I'll show you some of those angles in a moment. But this is interesting here at Zero Hedge. Dmitry Medvedev, who is very hawkish, potentially the next Russian president. I'm not sure if that'll happen. But anyway, former Russian president. He's basically saying Trump has broken the Zelensky regime through this deal. And so it means that the United States, when they give aid to Ukraine, they then can get a deposit into their sort of special U.S. fund, basically. So Trump wants to be paid back with minerals and all natural resources, everything, oil, gas, lithium, everything is up for grabs. So the problem here is that the future Ukrainian government could come in, another president, and could say that Zelensky was out of mandate, he was illegitimate, he signed this terrible deal. You could do a Trump. The next Ukrainian government could pull a Trump. It was a terrible deal. They signed it with Trump. It was a terrible deal. And tear it up, and they would have every right to do that. Okay? And Russia also is kind of laughing because they don't see Zelensky as a legitimate head of state or an heir apparent or party to any meaningful negotiations. And yet Trump has signed this deal, which provides supposedly protection guarantees for Ukraine and also promises reparations to Ukraine. Where are those reparations coming from? Perhaps from the frozen Russian assets that are in Euroclear, $350 billion. Trump's definitely using that as a bargaining tool with Moscow, but Moscow is not going to bite at all on that. So that's where things are. The other thing that's interesting about this is this angle here, and this is what. By the way, here's Michael Tracy up on screen. He's basically saying the whole idea was that U.S. would not become super engaged and meshed with Ukraine, but Trump has basically created a deal that makes them permanently enmeshed with Ukraine. So good point here from American journalist
So the
Michael
United States
Tracy.
got permanent enmeshment. We've only got 100 years to worry about.
That's the problem. There's a little competition here, Mike, because didn't Keir Starmer just sign this to great fanfare, the 100-year partnership with Ukraine? Well, Donald Trump's come in and gazumped the British. That's what it looks like anyway. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we can see there's some competition there. So Starmer got the okay from Biden to do this before Trump was inaugurated. This was the middle of January that ball was rolling. And all of a sudden Trump's come in and now put his marker down on all of Ukraine, basically, or whatever's left. All the high-performing assets, Mike, are in the eastern part of the country. And the other thing, and the reason we had the original image, you saw BlackRock on Zelensky's jumper there, that's kind of what this is. It's basically Trump making it official that they're going to basically use Ukrainian resources as collateral for future loans and financial aid to Ukraine. That's what BlackRock was doing. This is what George Soros and these huge hedge funds and private equity firms are doing, is basically collateralizing all their resources in exchange for loans and debt, basically. So Trump's just gone and made it official. So, and it could end up in the hands of BlackRock quite easily, and probably will, in fact. But the United States somehow is going to get a skim. They're going to get a cut from it. So this is like crazy mafia tactics. And Russia's just sitting back saying, go ahead, carry on. This isn't advancing our peace negotiations one bit. So that's the irony of it all.
Okay, well, let's come back to the UK.